Okay, we are live on Facebook. Welcome to Tete at Suvi's Power Meet with another fantastic episode. Today, again, I am seriously and amazingly proud of the guest who I have with me. As you all must be seeing my Facebook posts, it's this young girl who I've always seen her. I mean, I have seen her going to school, in a JB Patit school uniform. And today she is doing so well for herself. It gives you immense pride, when you see children who you've seen them growing up and then they do so well for themselves. So welcome Sanjana Chatlani. A big round of applause, everyone. She is the founder of the Bombay Lettering Company. And it's her journey has been something amazing, which really intrigued me. And hence, we have her on our show today. So, without much ado, may we start our tete a tete. Sanjana, are we ready?
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me here, Sumanyanti. I feel it's
Anytime.
so funny, exactly what you said, because you've seen me grow up, literally. And it's so wonderful to see all the work you're doing, and I'm so happy to be a part of this today as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
How sweet of you. Well, so without much ado, I'm going to introduce Sanjana formally to all our viewers who are here with us. Sanjana Chatlani is the founder of the Bombay Lettering Company. Uh, and at this young age, which is wonderful. The best part about her is she doesn't chase work, but work comes to her in various forms, not just wedding invites, certificates, or but she does calligraphy on different materials too, which is something very, very unique and brilliant. Calligraphy, as we all know, is a visual art which is related to writing. It is the design and execution of lettering with a broad tipped instrument or brush or other writing instruments. I'm sure Sanjana has a lot to show us. Yes. And a contemporary calligraphic practice can be defined as the art of giving form to signs in an expressive, harmonious, and skillful manner. Well, modern calligraphy ranges from functional inscriptions and designs to fine art pieces where the letters may or may not be readable. Classical calligraphy differs from typography and non classical handwriting. Though a calligrapher may practice both, it depends. Calligraphy continues to flourish in the form of invites, font design, typography, original hand lettered logo design, religious art, announcements, and various other forms. Cut stone inscriptions, memorial documents. It is also used for props and moving images for films and televisions, and also for testimonials, births, and maps and other written works. So, my whole thing, which I really wanted to know about you, Sanjana, is that you being born in an entrepreneurial family, your father being a businessman, did you ever feel that you're going to have your own setup, your own business, and you're going to be an entrepreneur yourself? Did you ever feel that?
It's funny, but I kind of wished I could ever, do something of my own. But when
Yeah,
I just graduated and I started working, so with my first job,
right.
um, after Mumbai University, I was working with LVMH and I was doing marketing and brand
Okay.
management for their wines and spirits company called Moet Hennessy. So
Yes,
they have a
yes,
sparkling wine called Chandon,
yes.
Chandon, sort of,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the brand I was working on the most. And I
Okay.
was really enjoying my time in the corporate world. So
Yeah.
while of course there was a part of me saying, "Oh my God, I wish I could do my own thing," there was
Right.
another part of me that loved the luxury industry. I totally saw myself going up that corporate ladder. And I was like, okay, even if I start something of my own, what will it be? I don't know. I don't have anything to start. So,
Right.
at one point I was very convinced that I could totally see myself going up in that corporate world for sure.
Okay.
And it's funny
Yeah.
because, as you said, dad does his
Yeah,
own
yeah.
thing. their
Yes,
own thing.
yes.
And
Yeah,
nobody
yeah.
really the company. I mean, everyone started their own things.
True.
But I was loving it until this
Okay.
came along.
So
Yeah.
super, super. Tell me, when you were a young little girl, was your handwriting like spotless and very, very fantastic, or what was it like with you?
I did have good handwriting. It wasn't bad. But I do feel like it's a little bit of a myth that you have to have good handwriting for calligraphy.
Okay, okay,
I don't,
okay,
yeah, yeah. I don't think you
okay,
have like super amazing handwriting to be a great calligrapher.
okay, okay. That's great. Thank you for
Purely
letting us know that.
because I genuinely think calligraphy, while it's the art of beautiful writing,
Right.
I genuinely feel that it's more when you're learning, and especially when I'm teaching, we always explain it as think of it as though you're drawing shapes, and then you're just
Yes.
connecting these shapes together that form your
Right.
letters. So it's more
Yes.
like
Yes.
drawing shapes than really writing, you know?
Okay, 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 okay. So tell me, they always say that excellent handwriting builds a character, But I always have seen, most of the doctors, if you visit a doctor, you can never understand their handwriting. So what do you feel about this statement? Do you agree or?
Not particularly. Maybe I'm not
Okay.
really kind of dwelled upon that enough. I don't know. But I feel some of the most interesting people I know have such terrible handwriting that you can't understand what they've written.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So tell me, did your first exposure to luxury and couture give you an clinging to vast market and potential for calligraphy?
So I think my background in the luxury industry itself showed me the importance of the little things. You know how we talk about the
Yeah,
little
yeah,
details.
right, right,
And which industry better than the luxury industry can you understand that from?
right,
So
right, right.
working for the world's largest luxury conglomerate,
Right,
automatically, even if it
right,
was sending out a bottle of Moët Chandon champagne
right,
to an HNI client, my boss
right.
would insist that we get a beautiful handwritten letter to go out
Yes,
with the bottle.
yes. Of course,
So,
of
and
course.
at that time, I remember sitting in the office, and a calligrapher would come to the office to write on all the Dom Perignon cards or the Moët
Yeah.
Chandon cards, and I'd be like, I want to try and write on these. Um, so I genuinely started seeing it that in the luxury world and in the luxury industry, these little
Yes,
details
yes,
and the personal touch goes a long
yes.
way. And you'll also see that
Absolutely.
people are willing to pay that premium for it.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
yes, I started seeing that early on, and
Yes.
maybe because something like calligraphy today is an
Hmm.
art form that it's not a it's not a necessity, right? It's an
Right.
added luxury.
Yes, yes, yes,
So it's
yes.
for someone who can who's willing to spend that additional amount, and B,
Right.
who genuinely values that handmade, handwritten
Yeah.
element.
Yes. Yes.
I will
Absolutely. Yeah.
definitely have people coming to me saying, but this, I can print it also. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Yeah.
And my
Yes. Yes.
answer is, sure, please go ahead and print it. Because
Yeah.
that's not
Of course.
that's not
Yes.
my clientele, that's not my
True.
audience. And it's
Yes.
totally fine. So I'm
Yes.
attracting people who value it, who see
Yeah. Yes.
the effort behind something handwritten versus printed, and so on.
Absolutely.
And of course, it's unique, it's different, you know.
Yeah, just the way you would pay for designers or for labels. Why would you pay for them? Because you want that uniqueness. You want that specification. What that designer designs. You like that design. So of course, calligraphy is very very specific and very unique, and it's very. I think it's so personalized, and it can be so personalized, especially I know for a fact because you have done wedding invites for somebody who we know very closely. And
Yeah.
it was done as it's such a brilliant job you had done, on that. I'm going to come back to that later. But for something which I really want you to let the audience know that you have dealing with such high end brands, which is brilliant. So, do you feel the pressure sometimes? I mean, dealing with LV and all that, do you feel the pressure, or you're absolutely used to it?
No, no. Now I'm okay with it, and I think
Okay.
a big reason why I'm okay dealing with all kinds of brands and people is because I had a good couple of years of work experience before I started
Yes.
my own
Yes.
thing. And I
Yes.
feel a lot
Absolutely.
of times, as even when younger artists or people ask me this
Hmm.
question about,
Hmm.
I just finished college, I want to become a full time artist or a calligrapher. I feel
Yeah.
my only advice is if you can and you have an opportunity to work under someone, even if it's for 1 year or 2 years, it'll
Yeah.
do a world of a difference. And a lot
Right.
of things like just dealing with high profile clients, dealing with
Yes.
brands, with different kinds of vendors, understanding how
Sure.
to work, communication, relationships, all of that. I feel
Yeah.
I was able to learn those things during my time at my previous corporate job.
Sure. Sure.
So,
Tell me which are the,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, can you tell us the brands that you have worked for? Tell me.
I mean, I work with very, very different brands, and I work all the way from like hardcore corporates, real estate companies, to luxury brands, to with
Yeah.
working with wedding and event planners,
Yeah.
bride, and even an individual like a mum or a lady who wants to have a handwritten letter given to
Yeah.
her husband for their anniversary. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
so fast. I'm dealing with a housewife to a mom to a child to a
Yeah.
brand manager to a CEO of a company. Because if you think about it, what is
Yeah.
calligraphy? It's bringing words to life,
Right.
right? And it's
Right. Right.
communication. So wherever you see communication or wherever you see an opportunity to
Right.
make
Right.
that communication beautiful, you can use
Absolutely.
calligraphy. And
Wow.
what's great is that I try, of course, my heart, core, soul is ink on paper. But what I
Hmm.
love, what you touched upon also, was working
Yes.
on different surfaces.
Different surfaces.
Moving a
Yes.
little away from just ink on paper, which can be
Right.
more applicable to different businesses as well. So
Right.
whether I'm painting on a wall for a client and
Right.
writing the
Right.
company, painting their company tagline on the walls of their
Wow.
office, or
Wow.
I'm laser cutting some large sign lettering for the entrance of a massive function or an event, or
Wow.
or I'm engraving in glass because I've now started
Right.
engraving. I've got an engraving tool and I can etch into
Wow.
like glass products. Yeah,
Super.
I think because
Yeah.
of that, I'm able to reach out maybe to a larger and broader
Absolutely.
audience.
Yes.
So, of
Audience.
course,
Yes.
some of the brands are my own ex company, so LVMH, so a bunch of
Yes. Yes.
Moet Hennessy products and brands. I'm working
Yes.
with Tata right now for one of their jewelry brand called Zoya.
Yes. Zoya.
So we're
Yes.
doing something constantly, actually, through the lockdown, a very interesting
Yeah.
project we've been working on.
Super.
Um, so a lot of fashion labels. So I worked with Papa
Yeah.
Don't Touch. It was more like a collaboration. I did something with Rolex gifting,
Hmm.
Bottega, Michael Kors. Uh,
Wow.
I did the invites for the Ritz Carlton launch in the Ritz Carlton in Pune. So we did
Super.
the invitations, around 1,000 of those, because now we don't
Super.
just do the calligraphy. So I take on the entire project as a
Right.
design, print, fabrication,
Oh,
packaging.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do everything.
That makes so much sense because today
Yeah,
people want to go only and deal with one
one
person,
person. It's
then go
annoying
and
to
deal
work
with,
with
yeah,
different people.
yeah,
And then
totally.
what I love is that it's all in my control. So I can
Yes.
choose. What used to be annoying earlier was that a client would come to me saying, I've already printed the envelopes and cards. I just need you to do the calligraphy. And
Ah,
sometimes the paper would be terrible or the quality would be bad because people don't understand that it needs to be calligraphy friendly for you to
friendly.
even do calligraphy on it. Now it's in my
Right.
control because I'm designing, printing, doing the
Wow.
calligraphy, everything in house on our own. So I do
Right.
that also. Yeah, so lots of different brands, interesting work for brands, interesting collaborations with different
Right.
brands.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
and it's nice
And
to see that brands are willing to pay and want to do interesting work with artists and calligraphers also.
wow, super, super. That's fantastic, Sanjana. It's so great to know that. And today, if you go to see, a lot of people really want personalized stuff. They enjoy it. Even if they want to gift somebody, a very dear friend, they want it to be personalized. So calligraphy really fits. into it,
It's
because
all
yeah,
about
yeah,
personalization. It gives
absolutely,
you that
absolutely.
opportunity to personalize.
Yes,
Because
yes.
anything personalized and hand done adds
Yes.
warmth, adds a
Yeah.
personal touch, it shows
Yeah,
effort.
yeah, effort. Yes, yes. The entire thinking behind it, absolutely. So tell me, besides Instagram and Facebook, I mean, I've heard that you do a lot of, and in fact, we were talking about it, your online classes that you do. So tell me, how has it been this whole lockdown period for you? Have you done a lot of stuff, or any new collaborations happening? Please let us know.
Yeah, so honestly, I think as a young entrepreneur or a young small business or a startup or anything today, not even that, I think any brand today, the most important thing I feel and I've learned through this lockdown is to change and adapt
Right.
quick and keep up with everything that's happening. You
Right,
can
right.
then be like, oh my God, look at what's happening. Or you can be like, okay, let's turn this into an opportunity and see what we can do, step out of our
Super.
comfort zone and try things maybe you never thought of doing before or you didn't even have the time to do before. You know,
Right,
so the
right,
lockdown for me, I kind of just looked at it like that. Um,
right.
I wanted to rebrand, so I finally had the time to work on a new logo,
Wow.
my new monogram, and all of that. So I got done
Yes,
with that.
yes.
I really love teaching, but what's
Okay.
happening? I ended up I can't travel all over the country so much
Yeah.
because I only do one outstation workshop a month. But through
Right.
this, I'm teaching on Zoom and I'm teaching different groups of people from actually all over the world. Um,
Super.
and that's really cool as well. And I love
Fantastic. Yeah.
teaching side has been, I would say, very, very big through the lockdown.
Excellent.
But
Excellent.
in terms of collaborations, like I was just
Right.
talking about it also, what I'm doing with Tata for their jewelry brand Zoya is,
Right.
basically they said that they wanted to give something to their HNI clients on their
Right.
anniversaries and their birthdays, and we
Right.
put these like uh, handwritten
Oh,
letters,
lovely.
which
Lovely.
are
Superb.
personalized. And
Right.
because of the lockdown and because we couldn't physically deliver it to the clients, I've
Yeah.
actually taken videos of me writing the whole thing, stitching it
Right.
together, creating a video of the entire
Right.
process, and they're sending
Okay.
the video to the clients.
Right.
Of course, once the lockdown opens up, they'll physically send these cards to them as
Touch
well.
them and yes,
So
yes,
for me,
absolutely.
it's like, wow, even brands are thinking
Yes, yes.
and
Of
thinking
the
of ways of what they can do and stay relevant and be digital and all of that.
right,
So that's
right.
one thing we're doing through the lockdown since April. Um,
Wow.
Another thing that just launched yesterday actually was what I was
Right,
talking about was the Airbnb online
right,
experiences. So
right,
Airbnb has something called Airbnb experiences, which are
right,
physical
right.
experiences that you can attend
Okay.
when you travel and you're in another country or a city.
Brilliant.
See now
Brilliant.
what they've done is they've made it online.
Right.
So they've just launched it in India with an initiative called At Home with Airbnb, and they've reached
Okay.
out to a bunch of artists and influencers and celebrities in the country
Sure.
to sort
Sure.
of
Sure.
start the initiative with them. So I'm
Right.
officially like, teaching on the Airbnb platform also,
Right. Right. Right.
and
So
of
that's
course,
brilliant. That's
yeah.
fantastic. I mean, so much has been happening with you even during the lockdown. It's fantastic, Sanjana. It's really great to say. But I know that you're also doing up your studio. So if you could give us a sneak peek to your studio, we'd love to see it. I know I'm going to trouble you because you'll have to lift your laptop
Yeah.
and take
No,
us for a bit of a walk. But
China,
do you think
China,
that's possible?
it's such a mess. Okay, so this is my favorite shelf and behind me, which is
Wow, wow.
my all my like daily supplies, my
Yeah,
ink, my book.
wow.
I tried to be super OCD and put different kinds of markers in the glasses. Um,
Right,
my
right.
ink. A friend gifted me this really beautiful planter.
Oh, how sweet. How
And
sweet is
then,
that?
yeah, it's mainly that's my desk, that's my table.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
Yes.
like greenery all over. So outside,
Wow.
um,
Wow, that's
I'm
beautiful.
still setting up, so everything's a mess right now. Yeah, just a little bit.
But it's really nice to see that you.
Like
I mean, this you've used this time really well. Yes. What is that? That's your.
my
That's your.
favorite. I got this
Yeah.
online, and I really love this blush
Ah, okay,
color.
love. Yeah, yeah. It's super,
That's my
super.
complete skincare. But yeah, so I'm kind of, it's been slow, obviously, because trying to
Yeah.
do something up during the lockdown was hard. So it's been in the last 2 weeks that we've really tried to get stuff done. Um,
Right.
but it's nice because, it's my
Yes.
privacy, my place. I just play some music the whole day and I'm
Oh,
working.
that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. That's superb.
Great.
That's superb. So, tell me, Sanjana. I mean, you've utilized this entire lockdown, time so well. I think that's such a positive that you have done for yourself, and even the viewers who are watching you are going to get inspired. Because uh, at certain point in time, it really like messes with your head. That now, I mean, it's been what 80 days I'm at home. I mean, it's getting to me, so
No,
this is fantastic.
I know, and a lot of people
Yeah.
were saying that, but the only thing I was saying, and I could say, is that think of this as time you will never get again.
Little Glen, yes, true.
Do
Yeah,
things, those dream projects in your head that you said, oh my God, only if I had the time to do this could I do it. This
true.
is that kind of time.
The time to them, yeah,
So
yeah,
I want to create content. So I'm really
yes,
trying to use this time to do that. I want to move
yes,
on to different platforms, like as you spoke about, like of course Instagram, Facebook is there, but
yes, yeah.
we need more than that. We need to be
Yeah.
present on different platforms and different
True.
verticals. You can't rely, like put all your eggs in one
On
basket,
one
right?
basket. True. Very
So,
true.
what
Very
are the
true.
different
Very well
platforms
said.
to explore online, offline? How are you marketing? How are you interacting with your audience and clients? How are you building relations? This was the time for me to like
Me
think
too.
about all of that
Very
and really
super.
sort of streamline that. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's superb. Superb. Tell me, Sanjana, people all over the world know Sanjana Chatlani because I mean
Really?
you had the on yeah, because you were the official celebrity calligrapher for Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas's wedding, weren't you? Yeah. So that's a big thing that you did, you know. And not only that, you also did Priyanka Sarah Matthews and Ashik Thomas Muthoot's card, so people in Trivandrum also know you very
It was
well.
so wonderful. Priyanka and I were like we were
Yeah.
looking at it for 8 months because we started from before the engagement,
Yes.
with the engagement cards, and then the wedding cards, and then after the
Because,
wedding, in the
yeah.
collection, you and your
Yeah.
family were so close. It was so, um, yeah, that was
Yeah.
wonderful working with
So,
her.
for a wedding, when you do a wedding specifically, the invites and all, like wedding, the numbers are large. You're talking about 1,000 people, 2,000 people. So, how do you handle it, and how much time does it take, for you to do it? Uh,
Okay,
you know.
so in weddings, there are two things we look at.
Hmm.
One is, am I only doing calligraphy, which is the
Okay.
personalizing bit? So, am I
Right.
addressing envelopes, or am I writing just the guest names on the welcome letter? So, am I putting
Yeah.
place cards for a sit down meal?
Right.
Or am I designing everything and printing everything?
Right. Right.
A lot of times when it's a very large order, like Priyanka's, for
Yeah.
example, or
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
a wedding I worked on earlier this year where it was 1,800 invitations,
Mm.
you cannot forget budget. The client may have the budget, but the client doesn't have time.
Ah. Yeah.
So most people don't account for the additional time that's required to get calligraphy done after your print process is over.
Mm. Mm.
So what tends to happen is if it's too large a number, we
Mm.
cannot personalize as much.
Right.
So we end up doing something called spot calligraphy. And
Okay.
actually, can I bring something to show you?
Sure. Please.
Okay,
Please do.
one
Please do.
second.
And we would like to see your tools also.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get that.
So that's Sanjana for you, and she's going to show us her tools also, and she's going to show us how she manages such large orders. I think it's very intriguing. So I had to ask her this question.
Um,
But
so,
is that yes?
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can bring these out and show you what I mean by
Sure, sure, sure.
calligraphy.
Yeah.
Um, So spot calligraphy is when you do your calligraphy once, you
Mm,
digitize it, you vectorize it online or on Illustrator, and then you
mm.
put it and incorporate it into your print process.
Right,
Um,
right.
so something like this.
Okay. Yes.
If
Okay.
you see the titles that are all done
Right.
in calligraphy,
Right.
was hand done and then digitally incorporated, and all were printed because it was the
Right.
same thing.
Right.
So a lot of times when it's the same name or the same unit that needs to get
Mm,
replicated on 100, 500,000, what you can do is do it in calligraphy, um,
mm-hmm.
and then digitally incorporate it into the
Right.
art. And
Right.
what's
Right.
really nice about it, some people will say, oh, but I can use a font. But
Yeah.
it's hand done, it's unique,
Yes.
it's your script.
Absolutely. Yes.
I've received so many wedding invites last wedding season, and I was like, again, they've used Zapfino. I know the names of the fonts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
because it becomes so standardized.
That's it.
So the
Yes.
beauty
Yes.
about doing something with your calligraphy is that you can, even if it's digitized, it's still
Yeah.
a script that's not on the net.
Net.
You know,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
so
Yes.
like this was a wedding card we recently did where we hand
Oh,
illustrated all these flowers.
beautiful.
I
Beautiful.
used my Hindi calligraphy for the first time,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
I made like a vellum wrap
Right.
for
Right.
this. And
Beautiful.
and the whole idea was to be elegant and minimal with
Yes.
ivory, rosebud colors.
Oh, it's
And I
beautiful.
used a gold foil, but I did the Devanagari shlokas
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
running along the back,
Oh, beautiful.
UV
Beautiful.
printed. So
Yes.
these are all the elements where you can even incorporate your calligraphy for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000
Yes.
prints.
Right.
Um,
Right.
you know, so yeah, most definitely. But then this is when I get involved in the process from the beginning, the ideation, the
Yes.
designing, the incorporating of script, calligraphy, everything hand illustrated, handwritten, all of that. Then we go
Right.
into the process of printing, the whole fabricating, packaging, all of it.
So, how much time does it take? Suppose if you have to do 1,000 invites, how much time would you need from the client? A month,
I
two
would ask
months?
the
I mean,
client for at least 6 weeks.
at least 6 weeks here to be on the
Yeah.
safer side. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
And a lot of times, like someone like Priyanka, who is down in the south, we have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
courier samples, courier
Yeah.
things. We need that buffer time. So I would
Yes.
definitely
Yes.
say 6 to 8 weeks would be really good
Yes.
for like a complete wedding invite. But then, of
Yeah.
course, I'll get things like, can you just do the calligraphy on name tag?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the pink
Yes.
white ink on black tags that was stuck
Yes.
somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
and this is me moving into my studio with a big box of stuff. But in terms of tools, I mean,
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
quickly tell you, in the
Yes.
world of calligraphy, I like to
Mm.
say that more or less there are lots more, but broadly there are two worlds. One
Mm.
is the broad-edged world.
Okay. Broad
And
edge
this
towards.
is basically a broad-edged nib
Okay.
that is inserted into a straight holder.
Straightforward. Okay.
And a lot of your black letter, Gothic, italics,
Yes.
Roman, everything
Mm-hmm.
is written with these broad edge. Even our script, Sanskrit, Devanagari, is everything with these flat, broad
Flat
edge.
strokes.
Um,
Yes.
so that's one world altogether. The other
Right.
world, I would say, which is a much newer meaning, this could be second century, this is probably 17th, 15th century. So
Okay.
newer in that sense. This is
Mm.
the pointed pen world.
Wow. Okay.
So this tool is known as an oblique holder,
Okay.
and we have a nib that's inserted into the
Ah.
additional section of your holder
Right.
called a flange. Basically,
Wow.
because these scripts are written at very steep angles. So this
Right.
already helps you achieve that angle.
Right.
And this is all pressure sensitive. So my
Oh,
thin and thick strokes are based on the pressure that I apply. But
wow, that's
the road
amazing.
kind of splits open when you put pressure. So
Yeah.
the style I teach. So within this world
Okay.
of pointed pen calligraphy, I teach
Right.
a script called copper plate calligraphy.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
in like the 16th and 17th century, they used to use
Hmm.
this to engrave in copper plates.
Okay.
So that's kind of how the name also came out. So it's a
Right.
very beautiful, elegant script
Hmm.
with an
Hmm.
underlying shape of like an oval. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, and then we have lots of beautiful inks that you use and
Yes.
work with
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Super. Tell me something, Sanjana. Even in calligraphy, you have to keep on upgrading yourself. You have to keep on learning. You have to keep on getting yourself trained. Uh, I know a couple of months back you had that amazing
Yeah.
event where you
Go
had
for it.
called, yeah, yes, where you had called amazing calligraphers from abroad. I think she was your teacher, right? You had learned from her. So if you could share something with us about it, please.
So, I feel for me, I feel very,
Mhm.
very lucky because my first real in person class and interaction was with the woman you met, Barbara Calzolari,
Yes,
who's an
yes.
Italian master penman.
Mhm.
And there are 12 master penmen in the world today.
Wow.
And she's one of those 12.
Right.
So, to be a master penman, you have to become, you have to be certified by another master penman. And that's
Yeah.
the way it happens. And I attended her workshop, which was a 10-day copper plate calligraphy retreat in Italy. And it
Wow.
was since then that we kind of stayed in touch. And, you know,
Hmm.
she's become like a second mother or like a mentor to me now.
How
And it's
sweet.
really, really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the one thing I've learned from her is that any artist for that matter, is going to be a student for life.
Right.
um, I don't think you can ever reach a point where you say, I know it all, or I've studied it all, or I'm a pro at this, because there's always more to learn.
To
So
learn.
I'm
Yes.
constantly learning, attending workshops, upgrading my skill,
Hmm.
traveling outside of the country a couple of times a year to learn, come back, enhance my skills. So yeah, I feel
Right.
an artist as a calligrapher, you have to constantly be practicing to up your skill and your craft, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, because I don't think one lifetime is enough to learn every skill.
No, not at all.
You know,
I think so much
definitely
to be learned. Even I always say that every day is a learning for me. Every
for
day,
sure.
something or the other new you learn.
You
Yeah.
know,
Now
every
today,
day is learning.
yeah. Now today I have you on my show. I've learned so much about calligraphy, which I don't think I would have ever known about it. So
It's
which
basically
is
an
good.
art
Yeah.
form that it's an art
Yeah.
form that really trains your eye, hand, and mind to focus, to pay attention to the details, to be more alert. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's so fine and it's so structured, and the rules are so strict in the traditional style. You know, the
Right.
angle, you have to be at 55 degrees for copper plate
Right.
calligraphy, for example.
Okay.
You have to
Okay.
follow a steep angle. So this pushes you and forces you to just be so much more um, present
Particular.
in the
Right.
moment and
Moment. Yeah.
particular. You know, you
Yeah.
can't have that like chalta hai attitude
Ah. Yeah.
at all. And I feel
Yeah.
the only way one can succeed in this world is if you go crazy OCD into the little details, because that's
Yes.
what makes it perfect. You know,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
I've seen that effect on me and my personality. I feel I've become more attentive as a person. I've become more patient. I'm
Yes.
more, I look at details that I didn't look at before in other
Mm-hmm.
aspects of life also. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
that all has sort of spilled over, definitely.
So
Yeah.
super. You were always interested in art and creativity, Sanjana. Was that something you
Yeah, so
always
I did
liked to
I
do
took
as a
art in
child?
school. I took
Mm-hmm.
art in school in
Mm-hmm.
JB, as well as when I was in BD Somani for my IB for 11th and 12th. I did visual arts at a higher level, but
Mm-hmm.
I never in my like wildest dreams would have thought that I would do this professionally.
Oh.
Because even like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, if you said you're going to be a full-time calligrapher, I'd have just laughed and been like, what are you talking about? Anyone even make a career out of calligraphy. But I think the thing is, by becoming a calligrapher, you
Yeah.
inherently and naturally become a designer because it
Right.
forces you to work more than what your kind of just a calligrapher would do.
Yes.
You know?
Where was that one point in time where you thought that, okay, right, between your corporate job and then you dabbled with calligraphy, started learning it. Where was that one point where you said, okay, now it's only calligraphy for me. That's it. I've
So
made up my mind. It's only
very
calligraphy.
tough decision. Very, very tough. I went to my parents. I'm like, can I do both? I don't know how, but I'm gonna do both because I love my job, I love my calligraphy. But of
Yeah.
course, that's impossible. What started happening was another little, like I would say, learning for someone who's very young and starting off. Don't quit your full-time job immediately.
Right.
You need that safety net of sorts while
Okay.
you explore and dabble with your passion and your passion project. So what I did was even when I started doing calligraphy and taking on projects on the side, I didn't quit my job and I didn't even plan
Okay.
to. So I did both together for about 10 months. So I would go to work from like 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then come home and eat dinner and then do calligraphy the whole night till 2 a.m.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Until I reached a point where I had to say no to the calligraphy orders that were coming in because I only had about 3-4 hours in a day. Anyway, I
Right.
started socializing and going out because I was like doing. I was very social. So I reached a point where I realized that there's more work coming in than I can do, which was a good sign.
Yeah.
And for fun, 1 month, I just opened my bank account and realized that I was kind of making the same amount of money with calligraphy
Oh
um,
wow.
than I was at my corporate job.
Oh,
And for a
right.
young 25-year-old, that's quite motivating and that's quite
Right.
encouraging.
Yes.
Then I started
Absolutely.
to think about it and I was like, okay, I've not
Hmm.
thought about this as yet, but if I'm able to sustain monetarily also
Yes.
and
Fine. Yeah.
financially, if I'm able to get good amount of work and do something I absolutely love, why not? I'm 25 now. If I don't take this now, then when? And
Yeah.
I kind of regret it. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Worst case, I come back into the corporate world.
Yeah.
That's it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it was around May 2018 that I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I had a really long chat with my boss, who was just phenomenal. She was so amazing about the whole thing, and they were
Right.
very supportive, and everyone was just like, follow this, see what you want to
Right.
do with this.
Right.
Um, and I could see the potential. I could see that this could become something bigger because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to. I think from day one, my idea was not to be an individual artist or a freelancer. My idea was to build something bigger, to build a brand, a company, a platform,
Right.
which kind of speaks calligraphy, which is the like
Yeah.
hopefully one day it's synonymous with calligraphy. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
the fact that you have your own studio and you're just by doing calligraphy says a lot, speaks a lot. So calligraphy, yes, is a very much a
I think
profession
that's
which
what
is,
people are kind of surprised, if that's the right
yeah,
word to use, that one can make a career out of
out
this.
of it. Yes, yes,
But of course,
absolutely.
you have to have different verticals.
Right.
You can't just sit and say, I'm only going to do calligraphy on envelopes. No, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to branch out, which is what led me to opening an online shop. So now
Right.
I basically am an importer of calligraphy supplies in India. And I'm
Super.
one of the few retailers in the country that sell these specific nibs and tools and inks and holders on my shop. So for
Wow.
me, it was also about branching out and having that base of a lot of different things related to calligraphy.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic. I mean, you've seen that. your passion, which you took it to such a level that now you've started an entire business out of it. You've made your own, you've become your own entrepreneur, solopreneur, and now an entrepreneur. From a
Yeah.
solopreneur, you've actually become an entrepreneur. You have your own studio, which is fantastic. So, but now I'm going to slightly ask you something like a little different. You're so open in your thinking about catching up with other lettering experts, so all over the world, and collaborating with that. I've always seen that about you, because you're always learning, you're open to learning more, and keeping yourself, updating yourself and all. So ancient calligraphy, probably you would have studied it, okay? And when you see ancient, have you been called by some museum experts, to read some of the ancient texts? Has it ever happened? Or would you want to be associated with museums? Because in museum, if you go to see, there are a whole lot of plaques in which the writing is in calligraphy. So
Yeah.
would you like to get associated or connected with them? I mean, is that
Oh,
your
yeah,
future
absolutely.
plan?
So I have gotten in touch once with an architect who was working on the restoration of
Mm.
a museum once, where they
Mhm.
needed to sort of redo some of the historic scriptures and writings, and they needed to redo it in calligraphy.
Right.
Um, so that happened once, but I would, for me, I'd love to do something for a museum. Like I visited
Yeah.
the Prince of Wales Museum earlier this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was walking past some of the stuff and I saw the names written in just a regular writing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
God, I wish I could like actually do all of this in calligraphy.
That's super. So because
Like the Barbara, who's my teacher, who's my
yeah.
mentor, that's the
Right.
kind of work she does. She only does
Right.
work that's going to go down in history. She doesn't
Okay.
truly believe in doing work that's eventually going to get thrown into a dustbin, because unfortunately that's going to happen with wedding cards.
God.
You know,
Yes. Yes.
so with
Yes.
someone like her, she's working on things for the Pope in Italy, or the G8 summit, or the Vatican, because stuff like that is going to go down like
Down.
history.
Yes.
And hopefully
Absolutely.
a bunch of calligraphers in India, we can do stuff like that over time for
Yes.
our country also.
Yes,
You
yes.
know,
So, yeah, the reason why I asked you, because very soon on my talk show, I'm going to have my next guest is not immediate next guest, but very soon I'm going to
yeah.
have Sir Vinod Daniel of Australia Heritage Organization. So we can definitely connect you to
That would
him,
be
because
I'd love to.
he's so much. I mean, the number of museums that he has seen, and the
Mm.
number of museums that he has worked with. So
Yeah,
this is one side of it. I mean, the handwriting is something very important, extremely important, where you talk about history.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah.
In London, there are certain calligraphers who are the scribes to the Queen of England.
Wow.
So
Wow.
any official formal communication goes out from the Queen's desk, it's written by these four
These
calligraphers.
complex. Right.
So I mean, if for an Indian
Some,
calligrapher, it's a dream to do something like that, that has that
yeah.
weight and like importance for sure. Yeah.
Super. So, I mean, what a lovely conversation that we've had today. It's been such an amazing time. Time has just flown by. I'm not even realized. So,
Thank you for
no,
having
no,
me. Tell me a
no,
little bit what you've been up to.
okay, I'll definitely tell you.
Yeah.
This entire lockdown, I think I am the only, I think, out of my entire. My husband and me are avid networkers. We love to network and
Yeah.
meet people and
Yeah.
connect people so that they can get, referrals, or they can do business with one another. But I think this entire 2.5 months of mine, which have gone, is only gone, and literally the first half of my day goes in daily distribution of daily essential kits to the underprivileged. And every day that we get, I mean, every day passes, we realize that, oh my God, so many more people to help. Oh my
But
God, so many more people I have not helped.
but
you
it's
know
so amazing to see the amount you are doing, the amount you're doing.
yeah.
I think
So
one something, that a lot of people through this lockdown
yeah.
also, that we very consciously been trying to see how can we help? How can we help
Yes.
the daily wage owners? Even with us, with the workshops we've been doing, a lot of them have
Yeah.
been um,
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. Yeah.
So we've been
Nice.
teaching, and all the proceeds from that class for everyone who signs up goes to
Right.
a charitable organization.
Super.
And I'm doing these
Super.
fundraisers because you've still been doing some amazing stuff. But
So yeah,
you know if there's anything even that we can do.
definitely.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Why not? Why not? It'll be great. So I just want you to once tell the viewers on social media where all you're available, so that if they want to connect with you, they can connect with you
Okay.
through your social media handles. So I know that you're available on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And
So
if by what name? Yeah.
So my Instagram handle is called Bombay Lettering. So,
Mhm.
or if you type the Bombay Lettering Company, you will find it.
Mhm.
I'm Facebook and there, but I mean, I'm not there also.
Yeah.
I'm more
Okay.
active on Instagram. I recently launched my YouTube channel. So it's the Bombay Lettering Company on YouTube as well as
Okay.
Pinterest. So now we're trying
Mhm.
to be on all the platforms. But the one
And
platform I'm pretty excited about that I've recently come on to, it's very new. I don't know too many people in India working on this. And in fact, you should check it out too. It's called Patreon.
yeah, okay.
And
Right.
it's like a subscription based platform
Face.
where you have subscribers who subscribe to you every month for a small amount and you
Mhm.
create content for your subscribers.
Oh,
Um,
lovely.
it's
Super.
a great way to build a community because while
Mhm.
social media is great, there's also a lot of noise and a lot happening on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
through a platform like this that's a little more focused and integrated, you get fewer people that are way more interested, who are willing to um, subscribe to you for an amount
Mhm.
every month, and you
Right.
build that community together. So we do like once a month, we have a webinar with all my patrons,
Oh,
and we
super.
discuss different things. I send
Right.
out downloadable workbooks or guide sheets or quick tips for
Yeah.
them every
Right.
other month.
Right.
So that's a
Right.
platform I've just about gotten onto that I'm exploring.
Right.
But yeah,
And
mainly
no,
social
okay,
media.
on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all our viewers who are watching this show, I'd really like to thank all of you all because you all have always been supportive of my show, Tete Tete Subi's Pami. You all have heard this wonderful young girl who's doing so brilliantly for herself. And it's an inspiration to all the other youngsters who want to do something of their own, who want to take their passion and make their passion into their day-to-day work, and build it into an entrepreneurship. So I'm sure you all can do that. Sanjana is a living example here in front of us.
Truly
It
feel
was,
that hard work, hard work doesn't go to waste. And if
yeah,
you're mindful, diligent, clear in your head, and work really hard, like really, really
right,
hard,
right,
you will see the benefits pay off. Maybe not
right,
immediately, but you will see it
right,
when, yeah.
yeah. There's somebody who's asked, there are a lot of questions which are coming online. Okay, so there's somebody who's, Kishika Goel has asked a question. Could you give suggestion for beginners and how can I start with calligraphy? So
Yeah.
they can all get in touch with you at the Bombay Lettering Company,
Yeah.
right? Yes,
So first of all, they can always just reach out to us. You can email me at
right,
contact@bombaylettering.com. So
right,
we'd get back to you if you want to learn because I offer online classes. But if you're a beginner, the first thing I'd say is do a little homework and try and see which script you want to learn. Because
yes,
there are
okay,
so many. There's within
yeah,
the black letter family, within the pointed pen family. So
right,
find a script that you'd love to learn that appeals to you aesthetically.
okay, okay,
And then there are a few amazing books that I could recommend. Um,
great, super.
there's
So,
one book called The Universal Penman, which is a great book to have. There's an American penman called Michael Sull, who's one of the father of Spencerian, which is another script. His books
yeah,
are great. There's a
yeah.
book by Eleanor Winters called
Mhm.
On Compensate. So I can always give you a list that you can put out
Sure.
for your viewers also.
Okay,
Like some of
super.
the most important books they can have.
That Yeah, that'll be brilliant. That will be brilliant. So the rest of the questions that we have, I'm going to send it to
Yeah.
you on WhatsApp, and you can
Oh,
answer them. Yeah,
definitely.
and it's great. This tete-a-tete was really, really superb. In fact, an entire segment which we were supposed to do, we can't do because we've gone much beyond
Oh
time.
no.
So no, but after a quarter, that's after 3 months, we're
We'll
going to
come
have
back.
you back, and I'm sure you'll have lots more to tell us and lots more things to tell our viewers, which they are going to be very, very interested in knowing. So it was great, great having you, Sanjana, on my show, Tete
So
Tete at
much.
Subi's Power Meet.
No, it
It
was
was really.
to see everything. I'm gonna watch all the next ones also.
Thank you.
And yeah, and thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah,
having me. It was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And I'd like to thank all my viewers who've always been very, very supportive of us. Thank you for being here with us. And as I always say, please stay safe and please be positive. And the most important thing of all is if you ever feel that there's something worrying you and you need to go and share it with someone, communicate it to someone, your inner circle of friends or your family, somebody who you trust, please go and talk to them about it. Because sometimes what's bothering you, that could be the other person's problem too. You never know. And you can solve it together. But don't let it, hamper your health. It's not worth it. It's
No,
just not worth it at all. Right, Sanjana?
and finding stuff that can give you that happiness.
Yes, yes,
Pick
absolutely.
up a hobby, pick up an art form, pick up
Yeah,
something that can be relaxing, calming,
yes,
um,
yes,
things that can bring out those positive thoughts as
yeah,
well. You
yes.
know, I
I
really,
think that's so required. So all of y'all have a fantastic evening ahead with the beautiful rains that have been
yeah, my God.
continuously raining. Enjoy the rains with the lovely hot pakoras and yummy samosas. I think that's the time to have. And have a great evening, all of you. And God bless each and every one of you. Thank you once again, Sanjana.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.